Hello everyone, welcome back to another little haul vid. Found some quite interesting bits and bobs, not a huge haul but some quality sort of finds. Get straight on with it. I'll go for the smaller bits first. I'll do a complete mishmash rather than keeping it Transformers and then other things because it don't quite work out this week. Now first bit I got as a spare part, and it's for one of the figures I managed to pick up from an antiques fair some time ago. I actually managed to find Optimus Primal's sword. I know there should be two, so I'll try and pick up the other one at some point, but well worth picking that up. I'm quite pleased about that. Next part I got, go for a part, from Boot Fair. I managed to pick up in a sort of collection of random bits and bobs. I actually managed to find the back side of, I believe it's Pretender Jazz. I have got him complete, but I will hang on to the shell because if you look you can see the little pins there which help hold the two shells together. Now they are prone to snapping on some of the Pretenders, so all in all it's not in bad condition. Paintwork's in quite good nick, so yeah, I'll hang on to that. It's quite a nice little find. Pity the rest of him weren't there, but like I say, I've got it, so it's not so much of an issue for me. Yeah, again, size wise, well, just yesterday I did manage to find, it was one of the few things I found, I actually managed to find, I believe it's Optimus Prime from RID's little Minicom. Good little vehicle mode. I have got this. Action Jackman gave me the gold plated sort of version of this, but again it's quite nice. Almost makes for a Micromaster version of Sunstreaker, so quite like that. It's quite a nice little figure. Now on to the next bits. Next thing, and I must admit this is the second time I've filmed this. For the life of me I could not remember what these damn things are called. I was calling it a jump start to start with, and then I was thinking, no, that ain't right. What am I on about? A bot shot which I managed to pick up. I believe it must be Acid Storm, or it's a colour variant of one of the other Seekers anyway. But quite a nice little jump starter. In amongst, again, a little box of toy cars, so it's well worth looking through the die-cast toy cars boxes we see at boot fairs. Occasionally you do turn up a small Transformer. Yeah, it's alright. I mean, I think he cost me 5 or 10p, so yeah, not exactly breaking the bank to get him. Next bit I found is non-Transformer, but again a great little find. I do like finding them. Another Space Force Action Force soldier. Chuffed to find that. Really great. I do like finding the Action Force bits as well. Now, which one to go for? We'll go for the plainer one first, the more basic figure. I actually managed to find a G1 Guzzle, one of the old Spark bots. It's not shown too greatly in this light, unfortunately, but yeah, not bad. He's in pretty good nick. His spark mechanism doesn't work, but he transforms and everything okay. So I believe, I mean, I have got him. I believe I'll either keep him to have in his alt mode as well as his figure mode, or again, he might be something I'll end up giving to somebody or trading for something. So anyway, nice little find nonetheless. And another little G1 I found, and again I do have him complete, so again it's either I'll keep it to have as a different mode next to the combined mode, is one of the Stunticons, and I believe it's Dead End off hand. Again in pretty good nick. Most of these stickers are still there, although a bit tatty, but yeah, nice little figure nonetheless, and good little car modes on the Stunticons from G1. So again, I think that was the Pretender shell. I'm trying to think, Guzzle. I'm trying to think, there was something else as well I got with that. Oh yes, this guy. I got for, I think it was £1. I actually managed to get an original Skeletor. He's a little bit marked on his face. I don't know if that focuses. You can just see a bit of paint's come off on his chin there. But I will hang on to him because he was a bit of actually Claire, my other half. She did like He-Man, and she always liked Skeletor as sort of like main character. Like she found amusing the way he laughed and stuff like that. So I will hang on to him. Hopefully I'll find the breastplate sort of part and that, so I can make him look a little bit more complete. But that's a sort of keeper for the random shelf of bits once I get sorted out. Now for the last of the parts, I would say, that I've picked up. This was something off eBay, and it was listed as broken. I've sort of repaired it. It's not perfect because I need to find a nice little hard piece of clear plastic to really sort of finish it off and get it working correctly. But for £4, which to be honest is peanuts for what it is, I managed to find from the G1 stroke G2 sort of line, I found Deftwings weapon, which is again one of the, not the Predator jets, I'm trying to think, it's the other side, the Autobot versions, but the laser weapon. It's a bit like you get for Iron Fist, if I'm right, Iron Fist, and you get, oh, I'm scratching my head for names here this morning. For the life of me I can't think of the others. Calcar and stuff like that. But yeah, I managed to pick up his weapon. I have got the figure, and this was the bit what he was missing, so I've actually dug him out and managed to find him because I knew roughly where he was. So that's the jet mode, and the weapon just plugs straight on his back, and that is a nice complete G2 with some good light piping. I must do a light piping thing on the Facebook page at one point in my life, but yeah, really nice to complete the figure. Really bargain as well to find that part, because usually that part I've seen it going, people asking bite nails for about 30 quid, so finding it for £4 is fantastic. Now getting on to more the tail end of my haul, I found another great figure, one I've not necessarily chased after, but it's the sort of figures that if you come across them you think, yeah, they're really good. Not sure if there's a little tiny bit missing, somebody else might be able to tell me that, but there is a gun missing obviously, but I managed to pick up, now I think this is War for Cybertron Optimus Prime. Really nicely articulated, really nicely designed figure. Not sure about the vehicle mode, but it's kind of Cybertronian, so you sort of live with that. The only piece, if we can make it out in this light, I believe there's a small piece looking from the side, there's a hole there about where his crutch would be. Whether there's something that's supposed to clip and pivot like a bumper, something like that, which forms then a waist piece in robot mode, I don't know, but it looks like there could be a little bit missing from there. And like I say, a gun, which obviously would be his sort of main prime blaster. But other than that, it doesn't really affect it too greatly, so I kind of live with that. Of course, this would be classed as almost like Generations line as well. Paid 50p for him, I can't really complain. And like I say, even if there is that bit missing, it doesn't affect it in either mode. And I really do like it, actually. That's really quite nice. I have seen the Bumblebee one before, but he's usually been broken and not worth sort of picking up. But to find Prime, I was quite chuffed with that. Now getting on to the bigger bits, I'll go with the maybe less rarer thing I picked up. Again, this was at a boot fair for £1. Now I haven't checked if he's all complete, but going from where I've had a quick look through, I think it probably is. They haven't even bothered to fit the stickers on. I actually managed to find another Creo set. I managed to find Prowl, and as you can hear, it's all loose in there. The minifigures are in there, as are the weapons for the minifigures, which are still on the sprue. Like I say, the stickers haven't been applied, and I'm trying to think now. There was something else as well. Oh yeah, the instructions manual and that is all there as well. So the woman did say it was brought for her son, but he didn't want it, and he obviously tried or attempted to make the thing because some of the blocks are together. But I'm hoping she's told the truth and that it's all there. It'd be a shame if it's not. But yeah, I thought well worth a punt for £1, even just for the minifigures. It's quite nice. Let's stick that down there. Now, getting on to a couple of other things. Now these are things, one of which I've seen before and regretted not getting, but I've actually managed to get it more complete now than I saw it before for a lot less money, so in the long term, better deal. Excuse me. Which one to go for? We'll go for that one first. Now, I've got another figure which I've shown you before in there as such because I can't find the others. I found to put them on. But I managed to get off eBay for the grand sum. I think I've paid about £4 for this with the extra little accessories and the main two sections of it. The figure, like I say, is not what came with it. This is another one I've already had. But it's one I've put in, like I say, I've put it in there just to show you the scale on that. But I actually managed to get Action Master Megatron's tank. Now he's still missing a couple of pieces, but all in all, a lot of it's there. Missing the barrel extension, which there was for sale, and some swine actually outbid me on. If you are watching, thank you very much. If I find it's you, Gerard, I shall murder you. But all in all, it's not bad. There's a couple of the red missiles, but they could be on their way soon, which I'm short of. And like I say, just a gun barrel extension. The rest of it is there. I do have Megatron knocking around somewhere, and of course Megatron's gun is the top red gun there. Everything else is sort of there. I've given it a bit of a clean, even though it was off somebody off eBay, looked a bit of a dealer. They obviously can't be bothered to clean things, and they'd obviously picked it up from a boot fair or something like that, so they probably made a couple of quid on it overall. But this is what I saw at the Comic-Con last time, and this was going for 12 quid, and it had none of the accessories, it was just the basic shell. So like I say, it probably cost me about £4 with what you're looking at. So chuffed, you know, really great. Less money and managed to get a more complete one. Colour wise is in great condition. You can see where they were going the colour wise towards like the G2 line, but it's quite a big old thing. Once I get it a bit more complete, I'd really like to find that barrel extension, but once I get it a bit more complete, I might do a review on it, but of course I've got to try and find Megatron as well, so it's a bit of a pain. But yeah, chuffed with that. But from the same person, and again near enough complete, and I'd already had one piece, which ironically went with this before I'd even seen this one for sale. From the same person, I managed to spend a grand total of about, what's it, 1, 2, 3 quid. I actually managed to find the bulk of G1 Gut Cruncher. Gut Cruncher. Bit of a weird name. Haven't got the figure, which is the Action Master. These are almost looks a little bit like, trying to think, Roadbuster, very much similar to him in colour scheme, green with a yellow chest. We'll have to try and track him down. Now the parts I'm missing for this, if anyone's got any spares knocking around, I need the, what would be the right tail fin, though I still will be looking for it, and I'm missing, there's a couple of red blasters, and I think there's 4 orangey red missiles as well. But for what I paid out on, that's pretty good. I will obviously attempt to finish it off as I go through finding parts, either at boot fairs or if I have a look on eBay now and again. But quite chuffed. A lot of the stickers are still there and in reasonably good nick, and it's always nice to have the original stuff still fitted. But yeah, absolutely chuffed. So really pleased to pick that up. Again, it's quite nice to find G1 stuff I haven't actually got at a reasonable price. Now, getting to... I just remembered something else. Hold on. There was something else I picked up. This is the problem with doing a review of parts that I've found over weeks, because I suddenly remember I've forgot something. Another thing I found, which is missing one piece, I found another jigsaw. I mainly got it from the other half, but I think it's the sort of thing we both sort of share in that way. But I managed to find a She-Ra puzzle of the period. Paid a grand total of 10p for it, so I can sort of forgive the fact that there's a bit missing, although it was annoying because I was told that it was all there. But unusual picture, not the most sort of like standard picture you'd expect from a She-Ra puzzle, but even the sort of the original drawing, almost like a poster where you were supposed to use that as a reference to do the puzzle, still in there as well, so that's okay. But yeah, please pick that up. Another random thing. But getting to the two bits I found, well, it's a toss up which one to do as the last one, almost like the finale sort of bit. I'll go for the transformery bit as the finale, because I think most people will be quite surprised, and I have got plans for this thing I picked up, and you won't believe how much I paid. But where I got the Pretender shell and the, what was it, Guzzle, and maybe something else. Oh yeah, Skeletor. The same guy I got that from a little tiny boot fair, which is quite out of the way. A lot of people don't necessarily know about it. I only ever stick a little sign up by the side of the road, and I see it when I'm going to work. Now at first, even I didn't quite see this because it was inside a carrier bag, and it's based upon something from Star Wars, which is pretty rare, but it was done for a Robin Hood series, and if it was the original from Return of the Jedi, or even Power of the Force, that gives you a little hint, it would be worth quite a lot of money. As it is, I don't know quite what this is worth, but to me this is going to be on display with my Star Wars stuff because it works. And I actually managed to find nearly complete, and I do hasten to add nearly complete, what would have been the Ewok battle wagon, but in Robin Hood Prince of Thieves toy line, this was supposed to be their battle wagon. I will also point out it instilled a certain amount of amusement between myself and the other half with the action of the battering ram. Yeah. Anyway, the main parts of it are all there. As you can see, it is modelled from the Star Wars line of toys, because that is basically the Ewok catapult, slightly recoloured, different plastic, but fits on top. Now for the Ewok version of this, that would have had a white skull, which was almost like the driving cab, where they could, I suppose, shoot arrows out through the eye holes of this great big, almost like a mammoth skull on top. And the difference in moulding, there would have been a drum here, which I think there would have been for this one as well, which is missing unfortunately. But there would have been another one of these positioned about here, and that I think controlled the swing of the battering ram. But all in all, it's in fantastic condition. The shields are still removable, though I'm a bit dubious about putting them around too much because they do remind me an awful lot of gold plastic. It's a little bit iffy. But all in all, you can see how big a chunk of plastic this is. This is proper original Star Wars type fare in so much as toys. It looked great with the Ewoks on it. You can take the sides off and form a little sort of two-sided little defensive barrier. Still got its ladder as well. Even the string is original, I believe, to this, which actually lowers this front section so that you can attack the castle and that when it's supposed to be for Robin Hood. But absolutely chuffed to find that. I've never come across even a damaged one of these before. So even though it's for Robin Hood originally, this original mould of this would have been for the Ewoks. So this will go very nicely in my Star Wars collection. So very pleased to find that. But that's not the best thing I've found. not so much a toy, but I shall have to get up for this and move this chair out of the way, because the last thing I found when I was hunting around at a boot fair, I'll try and keep it off camera till I can get it sorted out. Now, for one thing, sometimes when I stay up in London, or on the outskirts of London, with my other half sister and her fella, we take up a pillow and that to use with the sort of bedding and that when we're sleeping up there. And for a travel set, well, for a travel pillowcase anyway, I managed to find a G1 pillowcase, which is like new. I hasten to add, I doubt this has ever been used. It is that clean, that perfect. Colour, as you can see, is vibrant on this thing. Same both sides. So you've got proper G1 action scene of Laserbeak and Optimus Prime. Now this is actually even dated as well, so this is 1985. And it still smells clean. I mean, we haven't even cleaned this yet, so the guy's selling it to me. But I've obviously kept it, I don't know, in an airing cupboard, in a drawer somewhere. Never been used from what I can tell. But, and this is the main part which I'm really, really pleased about. I'm going to have to get this sorted out before I can lift it up for you. With it, there's also the duvet cover, which, as you can see, G1 Grimlock, Laserbeak again, G1 Megatron. If I move it up, I'm going to lose sight of the camera for a minute, but down the bottom there you should be able to see G1 Optimus Prime fighting them as well. And you think, well, that's not much good to me because I live with my other half. I don't have a single bed, so duvet cover's not much use to me. But I do need some curtains, and being that this is double-sided exactly the same both sides, this fabric is going to end up being my curtains for this room, which ironically kind of matches the colour scheme and details on the lampshade I got earlier and the cushion I got for the room. So that's the sort of thing to actually finish off my room in that kind of sense, without putting all the figures out and doing the shelving and all the rest of it. You can imagine I was rather pleased. It is in perfect condition. I don't know why anyone ever brought this and didn't use it, because I tell you what, if I'd have had it as a kid, this would have been the set I had on the bed. It's amazing what people still keep and then sell, and a lot of you are probably going to fall off your chairs. Somebody sold this to me so that I can use it for this. You know, bearing in mind it is going to have a use and be well worth having. I shall move back. Oh, as you can also see, I've already got the curtain pole ready. Yeah, somebody bothered to sell this to me for a grand sum of £1. So you've got an original 85 vintage bedding set, which you would not be able to pick up anywhere other than eBay for probably God knows how much, for £1. So I'm really, really chuffed with that, because I've been looking for some fabric to actually, my mother-in-law's actually going to do it, make me up some curtains. We've actually brought the other bits to actually make it up. I won't bother you with the technical terms for it all, but so that she can actually turn that into the curtains. And I think the last time I saw some fabric which would have been big enough but not quite as fancy, it wouldn't have looked quite as nice up, and I did see that fabric, and that was 30 quid. So it's made for a cheap set of curtains once they're done, but a very in-keeping original G1 set of curtains, if you can have such a thing. But yeah, I honestly, sometimes where people say to me, oh, you know, when you go to a book fair, what are you looking for? I was never going to expect to find that. So when I saw it, I near enough like, what, really? It was all folded up, so I sort of recognised the colour scheme. I believe it was Prime's gun on the picture, what was on show of the pillowcase, and I thought, that can't be what I think it is. And I thought, knowing my luck, it's going to be a bit rough and a bit untidy. I opened it out, couldn't believe it. And even for the pillow, I would have paid £1 for the pillowcase. But when I then realised that the whole bedding was there for that price, is lunacy. Well, actually, he didn't even say the price at that point, because I would have had it regardless. And I said to the guy how much, and he just went, I don't know, £1. And it's a job sometimes, let's put it this way, it's a job sometimes not to look too happy and too smug when somebody says a price to you, because it is almost a bit like, are you sure you've kept that for 29 years in pristine condition to sell it for £1? I don't know. Some people must have a screw loose, or they just really have got no idea what they've got. I would have happily, even at a booth, I would have paid £20 for it, let's be honest. Anyway, that's the crowning piece of this haul. I'll obviously show you once they're made and up. It'll be a little while yet, obviously, till she gets a chance to actually run them out and run them up as curtains. They will be lined at the back, so they won't colour fade. I'm making sure of that. But it will make for a fantastic set of curtains in it. It's exactly what I wanted, and weirdly enough, I mean, I've got some net there to help stop the glare on the toys and that in the meantime, but it'll make for a fantastic finish to the window, because I've been looking at blinds and stuff like that, and they'd be boring and pretty bland. But actually having a set of curtains which actually matches all in, oh, fantastic. Anyway, thank you for everyone for watching, and for all the new subscribers. I've not long gone over the 500 mark, which amazes me. But yeah, thank you for the first subscriber right up to the latest, and I shall see you again. I will try and get a review out at some point, I promise you, but as time is a bit tight, and also finding something that I can actually dig out what's complete and review, there are a few odds and ends about, but most of it's still boxed up. So hopefully I shall be starting the loft soon, which means a lot of it will disappear for a little while. Give me a chance to have a look through. I might be able to find some odd bits to review, but when all that goes, that means I can start work up here properly. So hopefully not too long. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I shall see you again.